Hello and welcome back, all my Dragon Ball theorists. Before we get into today's video, I just wanted to mention that early scans are out on the Dragon Ball Super manga chapter for tomorrow. As you know, I don't cover any spoilers on this channel and prefer to stick with the stories and theories. I do know that we are all excited and can hardly wait to find out what happens, so if anyone wants to look at some of the early images, I have a link in the description that will show Beerus as an angel, which we all knew. However, we still don't know his backstory, and I don't want to ruin the surprise for everyone here, and we'll be covering the full chapter when it comes out. The only hint I have is one of these videos I did does look like it seems to be true. I can't wait to read the entire chapter and look forward to some fun theories and stories to follow. And now for this video, which is something I covered several months ago, but YouTube was being funky like usual, so I figure I would do this quick announcement and release this topic again, so I hope you enjoy the story. I don't think we were ready for a villain like Zamasu. What I mean by that is, realistically he was a near-perfect enemy that could have been an end villain for our heroes in the show. He had everything we want to see in an overpowered cunning foe. We want villains to have these incredible strategies that give us an amazing plot with their evil plan of universal domination. Then to achieve the power to do just that. Zamasu Zero Mortal Plan was ominous and near flawlessly executed. He was a great villain that, in my opinion, appeared too early in the show because now that is the type of enemy many of us want to see. A villain to challenge the gods, shake things up and overthrow their hierarchy. Well, technically Zamasu is a god, but he just wanted to be the god sitting on the throne and reshaping everything to his liking. He could have done it. There were only a few small errors in his plan, but like many great villains, it's their own doing that eventually causes them to fall short of their true end goal. So today, let's explore some ways that indeed Zamasu could have won, how he could achieve his Zero Mortal Plan, and overthrow Zeno to sit on the throne of the multiverse. When we look at Zamasu's Zero Mortal Plan and ideals, to me they are similar to some of my favorite villains of all time. Well, to be honest, my favorite anime and comic characters all fill the villain role. Aizen from Bleach, who simply chose to sit on a throne in the heavens because he felt it was vacant, to search for greatness and overthrow all of Soul Society. Thanos, who felt that he was righteously rebalancing the universe so it can flourish. Well, that is the MCU version. However, these ideas, regardless of the villain, aren't really that wrong, and they are doing what they feel is the best, to search for the greatest power to shape everything to their liking. All of them almost pulled it off, and it is why many of us love these types of characters with strong ideals, morals, and of course, incredible power. Even in Star Wars, it's all about the Sith for me. Well, maybe I just love the way it's all presented, and when a character enters the role of antagonist or villain, they just are, for me, that much more interesting. So looking at what Zamasu could have done to actually make sure he succeeded in his Zero Mortal Plan is an interesting thought to entertain. The big issue Zamasu never planned for was Zeno. So when they were giving their epic speech to everyone talking about how they traveled to all the universes killing the Kais so there would be no gods in their timeline.
That's right, Goku. That means in this timeline there are no more gods who can stop us. We have all the power here.
They forgot about the one who oversees the gods, the one sitting on the throne of the multiverse, the Omni King. There is also the issue with the Grand Priest as well, since he would also be around. Remember what we said, when the deity an angel serves dies, his function is suspended until a new god appears. So there are no angels around either except for the Grand Priest who serves Zeno. Now, one of the major things I want to touch on was the destruction of the Super Dragon Balls. It seemed like a great idea. Zamasu and Goku Black were well on their way to achieving their plans, so why not have them destroyed so no one can undo everything that has been set in motion? I did a video exploring what Zeno can't erase, which goes into the nature of the angels and this world of the beyond they come from and return to after the god of destruction is no more. They are divine beings and above being erased by Zeno. Also, the Super Dragon Balls have unlimited power that can reverse his erasing, so I explain how they are also immune to such a technique. It's a pretty detailed video, so I encourage you to watch that in conjunction with this one, because what I'm about to explain will make a lot of sense for ways Zamasu can defeat Zeno. Also, how Zamasu actually destroyed the Super Dragon Balls if Zeno can't. There was no details of how Zamasu shattered them, and the issue with that is he gathered them all again and had them destroyed, which means it is implied that he used the final wish for the Super Dragon Balls to be shattered. The reason this is true is because, as we know, you need all the Dragon Balls to make a wish. So if they could destroy them with their own power, then all you would have to do is find one Dragon Ball and shatter it, so no one can make a wish. Instead, they collect all of them and have all of them shattered by the use of a final wish. Something that I wanted to point out here, as it is brought up a lot in discussions. It's a hard pill to swallow that Zamasu or Goku Black can destroy something that has unlimited power, and when you look at it closely, they didn't. They just wished for it. So after gathering them all again to shatter them, they should have used a final wish on something grander instead. They pretty much were already unopposed since they strategically got rid of the gods in all 12 universes. Yes, they don't realize that Goku has a Zeno button, but they must realize to truly have their ideals become a reality at some point, you have to overthrow Zeno. Now in the manga continuity, it does explain that they also plan to go to every timeline and destroy humanity across all of them. This is why in the anime, when Zamasu starts to become the universe itself and leaks into each timeline, he is attempting to do just that. The issue is there is Zeno in every timeline, so dealing with him across all of them would require careful planning. If they just wanted to stay in the future Trunks timeline as the true god of that multiverse, then a wish could be easy to dispose of Zeno. Just wish for him to be teleported into a different time. As we know, Zeno isn't above time, and that is why we end up with two of them after the future timeline is destroyed by him. Zamasu would be free to sit on his throne, but then we do have an issue with the Grand Priest, and it also is peculiar why he never got involved. I would think the Grand Priest would have noticed that Zamasu assassinated all the gods. Perhaps he believes that this battle is up to mortals instead, and was watching the whole time. However, since Zamasu wants to oversee every timeline as the god, acting out his Zero Mortal Plan in all of them, he needs to be able to be immune to being erased by Zeno. As we know, the Super Dragon Balls can grant any wish. It doesn't matter what it is. There is no limit to their power. It can even reverse Zeno's erasing of the universes, which, as we know, when something is erased, it doesn't just die. It doesn't exist anymore. It's supposed to be gone forever. So what should Zamasu wish for? I do believe that the reason the Super Dragon Balls were one of the first things ever created was to have a way of canceling out Zeno. There always needs to be balance in the multiverse. They are that balance. So the final wish should have been to have the power of the Omni King. After this wish was granted, we would see Zeno's clothes dissolve that he attained when he was appointed as the ruler of the multiverse and then appear on Zamasu. He now has Omni power and can erase humanity in an instant with the squish of his hands. Now, accomplishing the Zero Mortal Plan in every timeline should be swift and easy. However, OmniZamasu's first task is now claiming Zeno's palace for his own in his timeline. All Kais can teleport instantly to divine homeworlds. We have seen Shin teleport Whis and Goku to Zeno's palace. So OmniZamasu would instantly appear at Zeno's world, and now we would have him standing at the front of his palace, where he is greeted by the Grand Priest. Here, the Grand Priest would state that he has been waiting for him. However, this is where the story could go unexpected. Is the Grand Priest's job to now stop OmniZamasu, or is it to be of service to him as the new Omni King? I definitely would love to see a fight between the Grand Priest and OmniZamasu, that is for sure. However, if the Grand Priest didn't act at all this time to stop Zamasu, perhaps it truly is his job to observe regardless of the outcome, to only be waiting for a new Omni King to be appointed. The Grand Priest's relationship with Zeno is the same as Whis' relationship is to Beerus. If Beerus was replaced, Whis would then guide the new god of destruction. That is his role in the universe. It might now be the Grand Priest's role to act as a guide for OmniZamasu. Make no mistake, the Grand Priest hasn't shown to actually care about mortals at all. We saw this at the Tournament of Power. All the universes with the lowest mortal level were fighting for their lives to prevent being erased by Zeno. It doesn't matter to the Grand Priest if he erases them or not, that is his decision. It was also stated that if 17 had made any other wish, it was a test for the mortals and Zeno would have erased them all if he made a selfish wish. So if OmniZamasu wants to finish his Zero Mortal Plan, the Grand Priest really would have no reason to be opposed to it with what we know. He would allow Zamasu to reshape the universe however he sees fit. At least the universes are still around. There just isn't mortals in them. It's actually a lot tamer than what Zeno has done. The Grand Priest let Zeno erase 6 universes and did nothing to stop it or reverse it. So there is no reason to believe that when the Grand Priest meets OmniZamasu at the front of his palace, that he would try to stop him. He would actually welcome him and show him to his throne room. Now OmniZamasu would sit as the ruler of the multiverse, Now he can easily act out his Zero Mortal Plan in every timeline. Well, at least this is my story on how Zamasu won and overthrows the Omni King. I hope everyone is having a fantastic weekend. I know Zamasu is a favorite of many fans as a villain, so I wanted to do this story and show how he could have achieved his Zero Mortal Plan. Also, when we compare Zamasu to Zeno, he really isn't that bad. His vision of justice actually is fitting of one that could be the Omni King. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to share it and smash that like button. Also, please subscribe to support the channel and turn on that notification bell to keep those theories coming.